everyone, it's Lynn and welcome back. This is episode 19 of the Sunshine and Bubblegum podcast. For those of you who are returning viewers, you might notice that I am up in Bunkie at the farm. I am having a wonderful weekend. It's a little hot and muggy, so if I start glistening, as they say, it's because I'm trying to get the very last of the sun tonight before the sun sets. We've had a full day. I say we. There was a large branch that came down and is across the main road coming into the farm, and my husband has been working with the tractor and chainsaw all day to take the branch down the rest of the way because it was crossing the road, and break it up into many pieces and get it out of the way so that his dad doesn't have to do that when they come up, because that would not be fun. So we've been up here. Eric has been working hard. I've been watching the kids. Poor Sean has a fever. I feel like one of the kids at some point all the time has something going on. You know, fever, boogers. Welcome to motherhood. But other than that, we have been enjoying this Memorial Day weekend here. It is the weekend of Memorial Day, and we head home tomorrow. So, enjoying the last night here. I'm going to put some fun pictures of the farm at the beginning here, you may have already seen, and at the end I'm going to post pictures of some patterns and other things that I'm going to talk about at the end. So, again, this is the Sunshine and Bubblegum podcast. If you are new, welcome. Returning, welcome back. My name is Lynn, and this is the knitting, crochet, sewing, crafty podcast. And I'm coming to you usually right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana, but today, like I said, I'm up in Bunkie, which is closer to upstate Louisiana. We're at my family's farm, and I will, again, try and share some of those pictures from around what we've been up to this weekend with you. So let's get right in. I only have two works in progress to share with you, but I have giveaway winners to announce. I have new giveaways to announce, and I want to talk a little bit about the Kal before I melt into a ball of glistening sweat and I completely lose the light. So let's get right into it. So the first thing is my socks that I've been working on. I'm still just on the first sock, but I'm almost to the cuff. This is, the yarn is by Littlebean Crochet, Kayleen. She is Littlebean Crochet on Instagram, and her Ravelry shop is Littlebean Crochet, and the yarn is Littlebean Loves. Her podcast is Littlebean and Me, and this colorway is Fleur, and this is a self-striper, and it is part of a kit that we did together, and I still have a few available if anyone is interested in liking it. It comes with a bag, progress keeper, and the yarn. And this green marker is where I was last time. This is where I'm thinking of putting my heel in, and I was trying to get it to fold in half. Oh yeah, I have two more stripes, and then this will fold completely in half for a long cuff. This yarn is so pretty, and I want to use up all of the ball as much as I can. So this is coming out really great. It came with the cream for heels, cuffs, and toes, 20 grams. And I'm going to do a cut-in afterthought heel. I'm not sure if it's just the curvy wurby or just an afterthought heel. I will find that out as I go, because I'm kind of winging it here. But this has been great. I can understand why people like to do the afterthought when you just knit and keep going and going and going and going and not having to stop for the heel. So we'll see how that goes. This will be my second afterthought heel. I did find the first one I did pretty fiddly, so we'll see how I feel about this. But the first one you put on waste yarn. So we'll see how it goes. So that is my first progress. I'm gonna finish the cuff on this. I was thinking of doing the whole afterthought everything, but then I thought better of it, because I don't know if I'm going to like cutting my work and putting in heels, so I don't want to then force myself to cut in everything. We'll leave that. We'll leave that to another sock. So that is just a vanilla sock. I'm knitting it on size 1 needles over 60 stitches, and that's all I have to say about that, I think. The second project I've been working on, and I'm sure you all are ready to be done with both of these because I know I am, is my shawl. This is the very first shawl that I've done, and it is the Show Me Yours shawl by the Unapologetic Knitter. And this is the middle, you know, edge here. Oh, that's a good, there you go. The yarn is from Kiwi Pop Studios. And the red-ish burgundy color is vermilion. The variegated is Roses at Sunset, and this yarn is specifically for the sunset that we're not having tonight, but here, usually at the farm, every night the sun sets right there out the front door. You can sit on the porch and watch it. And this shawl is a Mother's Day gift for my mother-in-law, who loves to walk typically during the sunset. And I have my pecan pie stitch marker. That's where I was last time. That is from the Gnome Knitter, and it is perfect because my mother-in-law also makes a mean pecan pie. So that's where I was last time. I finished that color. I've got 2 eyelet sections. I finished this, and I have just finished, I think I have one more purl row of this section, and I have the eyelets and then the lace. So was hoping that would be a finished object this time, but it'll definitely be a finished object next time. Here is a close-up of the yarn on that one. It is so pretty. I'm going to weigh this when I get home. I don't know. I might have enough for some maybe shorty socks. Maybe this is the sock base, but it is superwash, merino, and bamboo and nylon. So from what I've been told, it's going to have a very nice drape. It's very plump. It's a little bit plumper than a regular fingering weight. And yes, so almost done, but it's looking so pretty. And I hope it blocks a bit bigger. It trying to do this without dropping it off the needles. Right now, it does fit over my shoulders nicely. But I was hoping it would be a little bit, but it's got a lot of stretch, so I think it'll block nicely, and then you can wear it over your shoulders, was which way I was intending. So this is almost done, and I'm very excited. I've really enjoyed working with this yarn. I have it on size 5 needles. These are my Chow Goos, which I'm in love with, and I have just ordered another pair, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So I've been enjoying the colors. This one's really special as a gift. I think as a gift, you know, you may put a little bit more yourself into them than when it's just for you. Although the process, I think I'm a bit of a process and product knitter. I really enjoy learning new things. I enjoy working on things as I'm making them. And then, especially with the socks, I've been enjoying having them as a finished project or having a gift to give. So I have been enjoying all of those things. I have one tiny cast on that I just did while the kids were in the tub. I'm not even kidding you, 10 minutes ago. And it is out of this on leave. I don't know. I've had this yarn forever. This is one of the very first sock yarns I ever bought. And this was like over 7 years ago when I was going to knit socks, and then that didn't go anywhere. So this has been kicking around. I think I've showed it before. But my intention, I just did, look, literally just the tip of the toe has been cast on. I am going to get the toe going on this. Sorry, I'm turning red. It is hot. I'm going to get this up to my 60 stitches. I cast on 28, so 14 on each needle. I'm going to increase every other row until I get to 30 on each needle, so I'll have 60. And then I'm going to switch this over to some 9-inch circulars that Mary from the Cherry Purls podcast girls let me borrow her Chow Goo 9-inch because I wanted to. The ones I have, I got her, I think they're wood, and they don't have any, they're very grippy. I think they're too grippy for working on a 9-inch. For what in my head I thought should have been a really smooth process. It wasn't. So I just wanted to cast on and try it, and if I like it, then I'll have another sock going, and if not, I'll rip it out and it's no big deal. But little adventure. I don't know why I didn't pull out the other sock. I only have 3 rows left on that, but you know, cast-on-itis, I guess. It's really just, you know, delaying or trying to give some gratification to the point that I have yarn waiting at my house when we get home for my Summer Kal top, and I can't work on it yet, so I need to finish that shawl, and then when I get home I can do some swatching because my needles came, but the yarn is waiting, and I will tell you about that in a second. But first, let's get to some giveaways. Ooh, and I did do some crochet over the past few weeks, but those gifts were gifts and they are up and gone. I will put pictures of them at the end here with a few other things that I'm going to talk about. But I did a little elephant lovey, it's called the Elephant Comforter, and it's like a little mini granny square blanket with a little stuffy elephant, and then that was all crocheted right in the middle so the little babies can kind of snuggle with it. And I made a little lamb hat. So both of those worked up very nicely. I made them out of I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby because they're both for little ones, and that way they can be washed and all the goodness. A cardinal just flew by and landed in the magnolia tree. How southern is that? Wicked. And that's how Yankee I am. Wicked. That was really cool. So yes, all those crochet things that I have finished will be pictures of them at the end because they've already left and gone to a high school friend of mine who has a lot of babies in her family and friends that she asked for some gifts. I do have going shopping this week for the yarn for my soon-to-be nephew's blanket. He's due in a month, so I got to get cracking on that. And I think we're going with kind of a nautical theme, but I'm going to be crocheting a blanket and using the lark foot. I'm going to write that down. Yes, lark's foot stitch. And this is a free pattern, so I'll be able to share with you the pattern, the stitches, and all that good stuff. I was hoping that I could have a pattern that was free that I could share. So that's kind of all my crochet happy hooker stuff this week. Next, I won't delay it again, but I have a giveaway winner. So the last podcast, Jenn Sheelen from the Jenn Sheelen podcast had a brand new pattern, the Little Miss Chelsea Bean Shawl, which I'll put a picture at the end here. And she was kind enough to donate a pattern to give away on this podcast. So I had a thread open. We had quite a few people enter it, and I did a random number generator and picked number 2, which was V. Shaw, and that is Vicky. So Vicky, congratulations, you have won the pattern. I will get in touch with Jen over at the Jenn Sheelen podcast, and she will send over your pattern to you on Ravelry, so keep an eye out for that. So thank you, Jen, so much for sharing that. I already have my yarns picked out for whenever I can get that on the needles, but I have my yarns picked out for that pattern, and I hope that you enjoy it too, Vicky. I know you've been following the podcast for a while, and you are also a avid little knitter there, so yay! The second thing I wanted to say was, we have another pattern donation. So my friend Mary over at the Cherry Purls podcast has been designing fingerless mitts, and I think I talked about them maybe last podcast or the podcast before. She has 2 different designs out and also a hat. And she has offered up a pattern of choice to one of my viewers, and I'm so excited. So I will put pictures at the end of what all 3 look like. They are based on New Orleans, and they all have New Orleans, this kind of a New Orleans collection. She is Snip and Fool on Ravelry. All of this will be down below in the drop bar, but also in my show notes on the Sunshine and Bubblegum podcast group on Ravelry. And that's where you can enter to win this, is the Sunshine and Bubblegum group. There will be a thread for the New Orleans mitts giveaway. And all you have to do is go and check out the patterns and write down which one you would like. And then when I pick it, I will send that pattern to you through Mary. But the patterns are the Monkey Hill mitts, which is based off of Monkey Hill, which is at the Audubon Zoo. At one point, it was the highest point man-made point in Louisiana. It is a hill that has all kinds of beautiful lion statues and slides and climbing equipment for the children, and I think they've added on a little water feature that you can splash around in. So that's really a sweet place in New Orleans to visit. I take my boys there. We were actually at the zoo this past week. We were down at school. She has another mitt that I think she designed with the self-striping in mind, and it's called the streetcar mitt, and it has the stripes on it are going vertical with the horizontal pattern of the yarn, and it's the lines of the streetcar tracks. So that one is also available. And then her hat pattern is the lakefront hat, which has to do with the Lake Pontchartrain, which she's on one side on the North Shore, I am on the South Shore, and New Orleans is to the east of us. We all are all around the lake. So the lakefront has to do with our big Lake Pontchartrain that we all are around. So those are all on her Ravelry. I will leave a link on the thread that you can enter through, so you can please go and check out all of the patterns. Tell me which one you would like, and you might be a winner. I will keep that open for a few weeks until I podcast next. So you probably have 2 to 3 weeks to go and check that out. Also, I want to do a crochet giveaway. I know we've had a couple, well, this is the second knitting pattern giveaway, but I'm interested to know what y'all like to crochet. Is it blankets? Is it clothing? Is it aragumi? Stuffed animals, critters, washcloths, anything that you like to crochet. You can tell me what you like to crochet, or you could tell me what you'd like to try crocheting if you've been crocheting one specific thing and you'd like to branch out. So I'll open up that thread, put in there what you like to work on or what you'd like to try, and the winner will get a pattern prize of their choice up to $10. So that will also be open for the next few weeks until I podcast, and I will draw a name on the next podcast. There. Okay, I think that's all of the current giveaways, and now I want to talk a little bit about the Kal that's going on, and I have another giveaway. So hang out for a second here. A few of the other podcasters in my knitting group, we've been doing virtual knit nights for a while now, have decided that we wanted to start our own Kal, knit along and crochet along, and we've aptly named ourselves the Slow Ass Knitters. Some more because some of us are actually slow knitters, and some for that we don't always have the time that we'd like to dedicate to our knitting, so it tends to go a little more slowly. But you don't have to be a slow knitter to participate, but it's designed so that it's a relaxed, laid-back Kal, and we would love to do seasonal Kals, and we've started with the summer Kal. So I talked about this a bit, I think, last time. This summer Kal is for tops, and it is sweater, not so much heavy sweaters, but light tops, light cardigans, or something that's appropriate for what summer weather is in your area. So if you tend to have cooler summers or hotter summers like we have here, you know, just make something that's appropriate that you could wear during your summer. It can be crochet, it can be knitted. It started May 1st, it goes through July 31st, so we are officially closing up the first month here, and we have 2 more months to go, which is fantastic because I haven't even cast mine on yet. So I wanted to say a few things. I got notes. I have lots of notes because I had a lot of things to say, actually. So the other hosts of this Kal are Amy from the Amy's Knotted Knits podcast, Candy from Pause for Stitches podcast, Lacey from the Knitted Cupcake, and Jenny from Lucky Jenny Knits. All of us have created one group on Ravelry, so that way all of the chatter and finished objects will go into one big pot, and it is called the Slow Ass Knitters Club. So please come find us on Ravelry and join. We have over 100 members already. We have 2 finished objects already. Chatter thread will have random prizes from all of us drawn, picked throughout the next 2 months. Jenny has already drawn one. I am about to draw another, and we'll have June and July to win some more chatter prizes. The finished objects thread will have up to 5 chances to win, because each one of us is going to offer in a grand prize to the finished objects thread. That again will be pulled after July 31st. So my first prize is going to go to number 88. It was post number 88, and the name is Pink Fizz, and that is Kim on Ravelry. So Kim, I hope you got to see this. Just shoot me a Ravelry message that you've seen this, and we will work together and get you a pattern of your choice, so you have something else to work on when you're done with your top. Yay! Kim has been super active already. Everyone really has. We've had lots of wonderful chatter going on. I try and get in there as often as I can, and I'm really enjoying reading everything. So make sure that you are keeping an eye out, because when we pull a prize, what we're going to do is post in the chatter thread. Like when this goes live, I will post in the chatter thread. I just posted my podcast and I gave away a prize. So there will be a cue that a prize has been posted. So please do keep an eye on the chatter thread when you're coming and going. So that way you don't have to watch all 5 of us all the time. But you will have to catch up with that one podcast to see if you've won a prize for that month. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave them here below or leave them on the group. Everyone's super chatty and super friendly, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible. That's why we made the group on Ravelry. Hello everyone! Sorry for the cutout, but I lost memory. Well, I used up the memory on my phone, and we were at the farm and there's no internet, so I couldn't upload. But we're home now. It's a nasty rainy day. The boys are playing. I put the dog in the kennel for a second so I can just finish telling you a little bit about the Kal. And what I wanted to tell you last was my pattern that I've finally chosen and my yarn. So if I've missed anything and you have any questions at all, message me here, or please come over and join the Ravelry group, the Slow Ass Knitters Club, and all the directions or Kal information is there, and you can join in, ask a question, and be part of the fun. So before the screen cuts out, this is the pattern I have chosen. It is the Cullum by Isabel Kramer. I believe it's a new pattern this spring, and it has everything that I wanted. It's got short sleeves, it's a little loose, and it has a little bit of detail there. So I'm super excited. I have decided that I'm going to try it in the Lindy chain. There wasn't a lot of information on Ravelry of people trying the Lindy chain yet, because it's a brand new pattern. So people were still knitting it. But when I got home, my yarn was here. So I've got the Knit Picks Lindy chain, and it's in the Harbor colorway, and I'm just in love with it. It's like a dark teal. It's not as bright as that, maybe. Yeah, that's it. So I'm super excited, and I've never used Lindy chain before. I just knew that it was a cotton linen blend, and like the name suggests, I don't know if this is going to show. Let me try and hide here. It's actually chain. There's a hiding behind the yarn. Okay, see? Almost looks like it's braided. Focus, please. And if you hold it, it's like woven on itself. So it's almost like it's braided, or almost even like it's like crocheted on itself, which gives it no stretch at all vertically. My sister is doing a sweater out of the same, or a top for summer top out of the same yarn, and she just finished her swatch, and what she found was that her width gauge was right, but vertically it was a ½ inch short, and it has no give at all. So she's going to try up one needle. I think she started on a 4. She's going to try on a 5 and see what that does for her gauge, because that will affect, you know, especially in a pattern, I'm assuming with lace and fitting here, you want to make sure that that fits properly in the right gauge, whereas the bottom half of the sweater, if you can go as long as you need to, but you know, for the armholes and stuff, you need to have the right gauge. So that makes sense. So I will be swatching soon. And my fantastic needles that everyone's been dying to hear about. They're Chow Goose. 32-inch lace Chow Goose. They're lace set, and they're size 4. And that is a US 4, a 3.5 millimeter. So I ordered new needles, ordered my yarn. It's all here. I bought my pattern. I can start the cowl. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this top. One of the things that I wanted to do, because this is going to be my time, and being a slow knitter or a person that doesn't have a lot of free time for knitting, is if I'm going to put it all in there, I want it to be something that I'm going to wear a lot. So I was hunting for a pattern that I could wear with jeans, I could wear a little bit dressed up with a skirt or shorts, in a color that would go with a lot of different options that I have. I have black shorts, I have salmon shorts, I have jean shorts, I have, you know, white skirts. And I think this color is going to give me the most options out of a, you know, that a piece of clothing can give you. I mean, at some point I just had to pick. I think I was getting too into it, and it came down to a very light sky blue and the teal, and I was trying on some shirts at the store the other day, and I found a teal one that I was in love with. I'm like, that's it, I want another teal shirt. So excited. I can give you a ridiculously quick update. For you it'll be just minutes. For me it's been a few days. But I started knitting this little socks that I cast on the other day, and someone asked me on Instagram what type of sock yarn it was, and oh sorry, I thought it was on live, but it's actually online, L-I-N-E. It's their Supersocke 100 Emotion 3 dash color. So I don't know if Emotion 3 is the color, but it's this browns and greens and khakis and camel tones, and it is wool, superwash wool, viscose bambus, which I think may be a bamboo, 25%, and 25% polyamide. And there's another number down here, which I think is a dye lot, so I won't get into that. But anyway, it's one of those self-patterning yarns that I've had in my stash forever, and I kind of love how the little toes are already, they did like a little pooling thing, gotten into this olive green and then into the brown. I finished the toes, and I've done just a few rows. That kind of tan is on the actual foot. I tried the 9-inch circulars. I switched over to the 9-inch circulars. I made it about 2 rounds and I couldn't stand it. They don't slide very easily. I don't know if it's the way I'm holding it or what, but at the moment when I needed... Children are fighting over toys in the other room. At the moment when I needed something very soothing, it wasn't soothing, it was very frustrating, so I went back to my 40-inch circulars and just kept knitting. So, hold on one second, I'm going to check on all the commotion. Okay, all is well. Someone had a toy car that the other one wanted. Anyway, so that was my little sock. I'd gotten a little bit further on it, and the last thing I had was an acquisition. Miss Kayleen of Littlebean Crochet had a very large Harry Potter update, and I had been saving some yarn pennies for 2 specific skeins of hers that I have been eyeballing and dreaming over for a while, and I went and grabbed them. So they came over the past couple weeks, and this is the first one. Hope you can see it. It is a very light gray and peachy corally pinks and creams. This is called Molly Weasley, and I've been in love with this color since she very first, sorry, very first came out with it. So this is one that I had to have. There are some little bits of like a caramelly brown, gray. I love it. I think this is going to be in a shawl. I think. And then the second one is one of her, I hope you can't hear them. They're just fighting over toys back there. Part of her Marauders collection, and this one is Mooney. Padfoot, Mooney, Prongs, and I'm going to be in trouble. Padfoot, Mooney, Prongs. Oh my god, you're all yelling at me right now. I can hear it. And as soon as I'm done, it'll pop up. But anyway, Wormtail. Thank you. She did a collection of all 4. You can buy them individually. But this is, sorry for the blowout. This is Mooney. And it has got this very beautiful navy and some grass greens and some creams. And there's some brown in that one too. So I definitely know that this one's going to be a shawl, and I'm going to try and maybe pair this blue up, and this might be my pure joy. I don't know, I feel like anything could be a pure joy. This could be a pure joy. This could be a pure joy. I don't know. But I'm super excited. I love both of these. Kayleen, thank you so much. And her yarns are Littlebean Loves. Is the yarn. My goodness, the kids. Littlebean Loves. She'll appreciate this because she is also a mom and we have many conversations about our children. Littlebean Crochet on Ravelry and Etsy, and I will leave all the information to her shop down below. But this is the end of this podcast. I'm going to check on the children, make sure everyone is sharing the appropriate toys. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Come and check us out in the group. Come over to my Ravelry page, the Sunshine and Bubblegum page, and enter in for the crochet giveaway, pattern prize, the pattern prize from Mary from Cherry Pearls podcast. And if I forgot anything else, I'll try and put it down below. Everyone have an awesome week. I'll talk to you all later.